Age UK Somerset celebrates 75 years this year. Tell us a little bit about the sorts of things that you've been doing to mark the anniversary.
The actual anniversary was the 19th of November. So for the whole of November, we've been having lots of events. It started off with a tea party near Wincanton. So a large group of us, about 75, it's our 75th anniversary, enjoyed a tea party at Sarah Beanie's farm with children. Fantastic it was. And with some of the King's butlers from Dumfries House. Then Taunton Racecourse let us have a charity day there. Then we had our official anniversary party where we invited former staff and volunteers to join current staff and volunteers just to mark the occasion. And Runwell Farm Shop gave us a fantastic cake. Donated lots of Prosecco. So we all raised a glass and had a slice of cake. And we had a lovely performance by the Rivertones. And I can't help but mention one of the proudest achievements of the year was we've put together a choir of angels, not angels, angels, which is made up of our volunteers who very kindly came forward and said they wouldn't mind joining the choir. And they are just amazing. And they performed at the anniversary party and were just brilliant. And they'd only had 3 rehearsals at that point.
So come like the solstice spark, the cold wind blows as the flames grow high. Now is the turning of the year, so cheer up, my friends, in the spring will be here.
Wow.
So I'm really proud that that's sort of come from nothing. And they're led by a lady who actually works for Age UK Somerset, who happened to overhear me talking about how I'd like to do this. And it turned out that she's kind of like a musical director person. And so she's been leading the choir, which is fantastic. So it was all in-house. Anyway, so that was the anniversary party.
Amazing.
And then the following week, we were just like blown away by this. I was very lucky that Bridgewater Town Council kindly gave us a grant. And the idea was that we could bring older people from the area together to have a nice time, maybe to get people out in the sort of darker, more miserable months and to bring people together, perhaps reducing loneliness. So they kindly granted me this money. I had conversations with various people in Bridgewater, including a number of local councillors. And then I discovered that one of the Bridgewater Town councillors, Rachel Lilly, was co-owner of the Palace nightclub. So I met with her and put forward the idea of having an over 60s night at the Palace. And after some consideration, she agreed to it. So we had 2 events in Bridgewater that week. One of them was a free screening at the Scott Cinemas, which was very well attended. We had double the number of people we planned for. We managed to get everybody in to see the film in the end for free. And then on the Wednesday night, we had our big early nightclub at the Palace in Bridgewater, which was just an amazing night. It was over 60s night in a proper nightclub with all the lights and the loud music and the bar. And it was just a brilliant event. We had 230 people there, age ranging from 60 up to at least 87.
Wow.
Yeah, the BBC came along and made a short film about it, which they posted on their social media channels. And currently on Facebook, it's had 3.5 million views.
It's amazing, this. And we've got to talk about this a little bit more, because as soon as I saw that idea on your social, I shared it on my social media and I thought this is going to make a real mark, this event. So how did it all come about? Was it something that you'd wanted to do for a little while, Kate, or was it just this meeting that you had that sparked the idea?
You're quite right. It was an idea I'd had. I had the phrase early nightclub in my mind for some time and was thinking about whether it was possible. So I actually got in touch with all the nightclubs in Somerset and didn't get a response. But now I think things will have changed because in addition to 3.5 million views, there's been, I don't know, 20,000 comments. I mean, comments from Bridgewater, of course, and from Lincolnshire and from Scotland, and then from France and from Belgium, from America, from Australia, from Canada. We've got an interview with a radio station from Cape Town, South Africa.
Wow.
And everyone's just saying, yeah, why isn't this happening? You know, why are older people confined to, you know, social options like bingo? Let's puncture these stereotypes about older people.
Yes.
And just give them the same opportunities as everybody else to get together and have fun. Because just because you've done 60 doesn't mean that you don't want to dance, or you don't enjoy listening to music, or exploring a new venue. One of the ladies, Jilly, who's the star of the video, actually, she said she'd never been to a nightclub before.
Wow.
So just to have the opportunity to just go inside a nightclub while it's like a safe space for you, you know,
Yes.
was just wonderful.
Yes, absolutely. And I mean, you know, you had so many people come along, didn't you? So it just shows how popular this could be.
Absolutely. And I did a lot of promotion around it. I walked miles around Bridgewater, handing out flyers and going into the local pubs and everything, because I really wanted it to be a success.
As you say, why, once you turn 60, should those options be shut off for you? You know, you still want to get out there, have experiences, have fun and socialise, which is absolutely key, isn't it, as you get older?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's very important to see other people. And this was just an opportunity to come together with your peers, you know, people in the same age group. You could really let your hair down. Everybody felt really comfortable and really safe. I mean, what was lovely about the event as well was a lot of people are a bit more nervous about going out since the whole COVID thing. So
Yes.
some people at the nightclub, they bumped into people that they literally hadn't seen for years, and new people met each other, and hopefully new friendships have formed. It was just a really, really wonderful event. And it was one of those things that because of Bridgewater Town Council, we were able to put this on, and it was about a celebration. It was about bringing people together and puncturing stereotypes a bit, because I think a lot of younger people, when they think of aging, they focus on the sorrowful bits, people getting ill, people becoming bereaved. But it's not about that. You're still people, you know?
Yeah.
Everybody is an individual person. So I just want to shake this attitude that aging is just about, you know, sadness. People are still themselves. They can have a wonderful time. I mean, it was really nice sort of like being at the event, just being reminded of this with everybody who came in. Everyone's got different stories to tell. Everyone's up for a laugh. I mean, Jilly, who I've mentioned before, she said she'd never been to a nightclub. Her friends dragged her along. She was widowed at the start of lockdown. She thought she'd still have a nice time, but she'd very much be sitting on the sidelines just watching the younger people have a good time at this nightclub. She said as soon as the Beatles was put on, that was it. She was on the dance floor and her friends had to drag her off.
Oh, gosh. I absolutely love that. And what was the track that got everybody up dancing, Kate?
Well, now, I don't know for sure, but I do remember with some kind of horror, what would happen was I would be at the entrance. So when people were coming or going, I'd give them a warm welcome, make sure that if they were by themselves, that they felt comfortable and included. So I was kind of out by the door quite a lot of the time. Every now and again, I'd sort of like do a circuit of the club, my feet tapping and stuff. Anyway, just to check everybody was okay.
Yeah.
Then I was outside and I could suddenly hear New York, New York, Frank Sinatra playing, and thought to myself, oh, there's going to be some high kicks. There's going to be high kicking now. You know, it's all going to kick off literally.
Yeah.
And then I said this to one of my colleagues who was there helping. And she said, oh, yeah, we were just doing the conga as well. And I thought she was joking until I saw the BBC clip, which clearly shows this member of staff starting and leading the conga. I mean, you could probably hear in my voice, I'm sort of like, you know, I'm reminiscing about it. It was such a great night. It really, really was.
Absolutely. And will you do it again then, Kate? Has this fired you up for more of these evenings?
Well, I mean, I don't think that we have to, because having seen the success of it and the popularity of it, I think this is something now that the Palace are going to run with by themselves.
Amazing.
But watch this space for more details about dates and things. But
Fantastic.
hopefully other places will pick up on it as well and give it a go. I think that would be a wonderful legacy for our 75th anniversary, to have sparked these early nightclubs around the world, Jenna.
Yes, why not? I absolutely love the spirit of this. This is incredible. It's amazing. And I love the fact that you're doing this and that you've got the attention from around the world as well, because the idea absolutely deserves it. And as you say, smash these stereotypes. That's absolutely what we want to do, isn't it? And you've also got a fundraising campaign happening at the moment, haven't you? So tell us about this 75p fundraiser.
It's just, we know times are hard at the moment, and so we thought 75p was an amount that people maybe could afford, and by itself 75p isn't very much, but if enough people were to chip in and give 75p, it could actually make a big difference in the work that we do. So, for example, it costs roughly somewhere between £7.50 and £10 for us to send a volunteer out through our wellbeing service to provide some company to an older person who might be feeling a bit low. So if 10 people donated 75p, we could afford one of those visits. Because it's our 75th anniversary, people have the choice to donate 75p or £7.50 or £75. No one's done that yet. And it's just a little can mean a lot. If everybody who watched the Facebook video gave 75p, well, yes. I can't do that. 3.5 million times 75. But also it applies to volunteering, in that if people can spare an hour a week, and it doesn't even have to be every week, then they could make such a difference through volunteering. They could be one of those people who goes out and visits an older person in their home every week just for a chat and to spread a bit of cheer and a bit of warmth and to keep that older person feeling connected in their communities and stuff. So, a little really can mean a lot.
And if anyone's listening to this and they think, well, actually, yes, I would like to do this, I can spare some time to go and have a conversation with an older person here in Somerset, what's the best thing for them to do, Kate?
Definitely to get in touch with us by email, which is volunteers@ageuksomerset.org.uk, or on the phone 01823 345 627. Or for further information, you can visit our website, which is ageuksomerset.org.uk, and click to get involved, and then volunteering. And then there's information about all the roles there. Our volunteers are totally at the heart of our charity, and we couldn't exist without them. They're absolutely wonderful. I've got the best job in the world working with our volunteers. They're super people.
Oh, and how many volunteers have you got, Kate?
We currently have 383.
Wow.
I know that sounds precise because I'm involved in the recruitment of each volunteer, so I know. So they're spread out all across Somerset and North Somerset. We need volunteers all over, and we've got all sorts of different roles. So there really is something for everybody.
So the best thing to do is get on the website and have a little look at that. It's been quite a year for you, Kate, and for Age UK Somerset. How are you going to top it in 2024? What are the plans for the new year?
That's a very good question. Well, first off, we need to have a little rest over Christmas. We've got 2 events coming up in North Somerset in the new year, which are already in the planning stages, and they are a fantastic afternoon tea dance at the Winter Gardens, which is always very special. That's in October to coincide with Older Persons Day. And also the very kind people at Bistro Pierre in Weston-super-Mare this year, almost as the start of our anniversary celebrations, they did a big free dinner for us as part of a campaign that they run throughout December. If people have a Christmas meal on a Sunday in December, they will then give one free meal to an older person in Weston.
Wow.
So we've got that coming up in the new year, a nice big free meal from the kind people at Bistro Pierre. So that's January and that's October. So we've got a lot of months to fill, and we'll see what we can come up with next.
I am sure you'll come up with some wonderful stuff to fill those months, Kate. And one of the things that's really struck me from listening to you and from chatting with you is how much joy this brings you. You know, I can feel and hear the joy in you, which is amazing. How does it feel for you, Kate, to be working with older people here in Somerset, to be at the heart of this?
I am so lucky. I'm getting quite choked up because when you sort of like hear the stories from older people and see if an event that you've put on has made even a little difference to how they're feeling about themselves or about life at that time, when they're sort of smiling and laughing, it's just a wonderful feeling. My heart swells. So, as I said, I'm really lucky. I've got a wonderful job, but my colleagues in the office are just absolutely amazing because they're on the other side where they're talking to people, you know, perhaps who are at really bad stages in their lives, perhaps recently widowed, struggling with money. And my colleagues are just absolutely awesome in dealing with inquiries on a day-to-day basis, you know, trying to make people's lives better, trying to make people happier, just through everyday things like, you know, trying to get them a bit more money or all sorts of different advice that they give them. And they are just absolutely awesome.
Being there as well, I guess, with the listening ear, as you mentioned, and also now getting people up and dancing. I absolutely love it.
And I must remember to say, we've got our Christmas Carol service on Wednesday, the 13th of December from 11 o'clock. It's at Wells Cathedral, and we want it to be a joyful celebration of Christmas. Our volunteers are at the heart of the carol service. They've picked all the carols, so they're all the best ones. We're doing all the readings, and the choir of angels will be performing, as will the Taunton Dean Male Voice Choir. So it's going to be a fabulous event. It's free. Everybody's welcome, whatever your age. Please come along and celebrate with us.
Oh, it sounds like it's going to be a really, really lovely way to kick off some Christmas celebrations, Kate.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, it's going to be wonderful.
It sounds, again, really joyful. And, you know, I think that's the thing that I'm going to take away from this conversation is the joy that you're bringing, that your volunteers are bringing, and that older people in Somerset have been experiencing this year and hopefully into the future. So thank you so much for chatting and for everything you're doing in Somerset.
Thanks, Jenna. It's been lovely talking to you.